Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video where we're exploring the crystal of Ruby Zoisite. Now, crystals are just like people. Sometimes they don't like to be apart, they like to be and grow together. And Ruby Zoisite is a combination crystal. It actually consists of 2 or even 3 crystals. First of all, that passionate ruby. Then we've got the beautiful Green Zoisite. Now, although lots of people know much about ruby, they don't know so much about zoisite. Green zoisite is this beautiful, glimmering, shimmering green crystal. It has a really light and cheery kind of energy to it. And compared to that beautiful passion of ruby, there's a really nice dance and contrast between the two that works really well as we're going to explore in this video. Now you do get a little bits of black in that crystal as well, and that's actually a third crystal called Tschermakite. A bit of a mouthful, that one, but that one also has a bit of a protective energy as well. But I love to think of this, the passion of the ruby and the heart of the ruby, but also that green heart of Green Zoisite work really well together. And we're going to explore in this video all the different ways that you can use Ruby Zoisite to enhance your life. Ruby Zoisite is sometimes nicknamed the Romeo and Juliet stone, and it can be a really powerful stone for, first of all, helping you find love if that's what you're looking for right now. What happens is each of the crystals work in a slightly different way. Ruby obviously has that passion to it, so it gives you that enthusiasm to get out there, to be bold, to be courageous, to maybe make the first move, to show up where you need to show up, and to kind of, put that magnetic energy out there that's really attracting people into your life. Now, the Tschermakite, that black, protects the heart. As we get older, we've obviously been through different relationships and maybe we've been hurt a few times. That puts some hesitation or some worry in the way. With the Tschermakite in there, know that your heart is protected and it will help to ward off anyone who doesn't have kind of honest or kind of intentions or integrity, and that you should kind of be wary of. So you can feel really protected with that Tschermakite in the Ruby Zoisite. Now, dating can be hard, whether you're doing it online or whether you're doing it in person. Sometimes 2 people just don't match, or sometimes someone's just not interested in you like you are in them. And this is where Zoisite is really great. You may go through Tinder or one of the other dating apps, Grindr, whatever it may be, and find, no. But how many partners are we looking for? Probably just one. So just know, and Zoisite helps to keep your confidence up to go, I just need to find one person. I don't need everyone to like me, I just need one to be a perfect match with me. Now, once we actually do find a relationship, this is a really great crystal for helping to keep harmony in relationships as well. Zoisite has that kind, that compassion, that heart, and also a bit of an intellectual aspect to it. So it keeps the conversation and the mental and the emotional bond close, whereas Ruby brings in that passion and makes sure that there is that romance as well, so you don't kind of move into that friend territory. So it can be a really nice one of balancing, social time together and sexual time together. However, Ruby Zoisite in the bedroom is kind of known as being a bit of a tantric stone as well. The Zoisite represents that Venus energy, that very sensual energy, whereas the Mars is that very sexual energy. So it allows making love to be both sensual and connected and passionate, but also have that physical aspect to it as well. So it can be a really beautiful one at helping to create that Romeo and Juliet situation. If you're looking or wanting to establish or nourish the perfect relationship, even though Romeo and Juliet weren't perfect because they both died, but you get what I mean. Ruby Zoisite is a really great crystal to go for. Ruby and Zoisite doesn't just have to be about romantic relationships. It has a very Libran energy. And when we look at astrology, Libra, not just the zodiac sign or those born under Libra, but whatever is in Libra is to do with the relationship domain. Our relationships with absolutely everyone. It has that real balance of kind of making sure that there's a nice give and take. So it's a really great one if you tend to lack confidence. Ruby and Zoisite is a really great one to wear over the chest. It allows you to be, forthright and honest and upright, but still have that compassion when dealing with others as well. It also helps to keep balance between people if there are disagreements, to make sure that people all stand up for what they want, but that everyone is compassionate and understanding of the different opinions that are there as well. Another time it might be great in maybe workplace situations is because it's balancing effect on sexual appetite. We talked about it being uplifting before, but it can actually quell people that have a large sexual appetite, or if there's a bit of worry that, it's not appropriate to be sexual all the time, like maybe in the workplace, Ruby and Zoisite can be a really great one for that as well. In social situations, this is going to be a great one. Again, it's going to give you that confidence and that courage to speak to people, to feel confident, but also not to be overbearing. And so it can be a really beautiful one at helping you have a kind heart. And that's why it has such that Libran energy. It can be really great for kids and children and teenagers growing up as well. It allows them to see the need for rules and restrictions and why we need to have that, but not feel too bound that they can't do anything as well, and grow up in a world where they understand that some form of discipline is really necessary. It's also a really great one for dogs, and it can be great for putting a small piece on your dog's collar to kind of calm your dog down, but still keep their doggish kind of joy in them as well. So whenever you need to bring kind of a balance into relationships to make sure there's that sweetness of the Zoisite, but the passion of the Ruby, that crystal is a beautiful one to bring into those situations. Whether you're wearing it, whether you're carrying it, whether you're putting it in grids, whether you're putting it near photos of people around your home, different things like that will all help to bring that type of harmony. You can also use Ruby Zoisite to help you tap into different forms of guidance. Now, Zoisite has a strong connection to Mother Earth and helping us to link to Mother Earth and get guidance from nature. Often when we look at what nature's doing, it can be applied to a situation that's in our life as well. Now, adding that Ruby into that, well, Ruby is all about that heart and that passion. Being red, it also brings in through the base chakra. So Ruby and Zoisite really helps you connect with the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Now, whether you want to just connect with nature and feel a greater affinity with her, or maybe when you're traveling and you want to feel at home on the land that you're on and you really want to feel that energy, then I normally use Oocyte, but you could also use Ruby and Zoisite in this situation to really feel the passion and the throb of the Mother Earth beneath your feet. Now, Zoisite also has a strong connection to the Fae, to the fairies, those of the air realm, the elemental beings. Of course, they're all about the intellect, about inspiration, about joy and playfulness. Whereas Ruby has a bit of a connection to dragons, the elemental beings of fire. Now, fire is all about transformation and passion and courage. So again, merging those two together, the intellect with the fieriness, these are both the yang or the masculine elements, whereas earth and water are the feminine. So if you need to bring that real warrior energy in, I think this is going to be a really great crystal as well. Whether you want to work with the dragons, work with the fae, or just work with your own warrior energy, it's going to be a beautiful crystal to utilize in this way. But because of that Zoisite having that compassionate side, you can be a compassionate or passionate, well, you can be a compassionate and a passionate warrior, really. The other place that's really great for guidance is when we're in a situation where we're not sure whether we should act or whether we should wait. Zoisite is renowned for helping to promote patience and waiting and seeing, whereas Ruby is about that real drive and let's act now. So if you're not too sure, if you tend to jump in all the time, you need to hold back occasionally, or if you tend to be a bit too hesitant, then this could be a really great crystal for you. You know, anyone with a large amount of Leo energy in their zodiac chart will often act now, think later, whereas those with a lot of Aquarian, the opposing sign, will think now, think for a bit longer, have another think about it, and maybe act if the situation hasn't passed. If that's you, or you just find yourself going, oh, now or later, should I call now, should I call later? Sit down with your Ruby Zoisite and just ask, if I knew the right time to act, when would it be? If I knew the right time to act, when would it be? Just allow yourself to relax and see the answer come to you with the support of Ruby Zoisite. So whenever you need guidance, whether it be from Mother Earth, whether you want to awaken that warrior within, call forth dragons, work with the Fae, or know when to act, Ruby and Zoisite can be a really great guidance crystal to support you in making the right decision for yourself. You can enhance your work with Ruby Zoisite by bringing in other gifts of nature and other guidance from nature as well. You know I love working with essential oils, and the essential oil that I pair with Ruby Zoisite is Manuka. Now this is a beautiful plant that gives us amazing honey from its blossoms, but also an amazing essential oil from its leaves. Now, one thing that's really kind of central with the energy of Manuka is the bee and that honey. And when we think about the bee always looks for the sweet spot. It looks for the positivity. And so, just as Ruby Zoisite brings in heart and compassion into our lives, Manuka allows us to do that as well. Manuka can help to take away warring or aggressive tendencies, as can this crystal. And instead of looking for win-lose situations and how do I win this situation, both Manuka and Ruby Zoisite can be paired together to help us find win-win situations. How can we come to an agreement where everyone wins? So they pair really beautifully together. They are also both really quite healing when there has been hurt in the past, especially in relationships, and really great as a combination for getting over any type of divorce. Now, when it comes to animals, there's a beautiful dove called the bleeding heart dove. Have you ever seen one before? They seem to be a bit popular at zoos because they actually look like they've been shot in the heart because they've got this red bit here and it's all kind of bleeding and like it's stained their plumage. Really, really beautiful. But we know that doves are all about peace. And because this is such a beautiful Romeo and Juliet crystal that helps us bring peace and harmony and balance into our relationships, the dove, being peace and that heart connection, also helps to bring in that peace as well. If you want to work with the bleeding heart dove along with Ruby Zoisite, close your eyes, hold the crystal and visualize that dove flying in and landing in front of you. If that dove could speak to you, what would it say? Now, when it comes to cleansing this crystal, you can either cleanse it with fire to bring in more of that ruby element or earth with that zoisite element. So I'd really consider, what am I reaching for this crystal for? If I bring it in to bring more passion in and to balance that passion, then cleanse it with the element of fire. Placing it near an open fire, not too close, about a meter away, or gently passing it through a candle flame, not letting yourself or it get too hot. If you're cleansing it with earth, either burying it in the earth or putting it on top of the earth would be really great as well. So that's a little bit about Ruby Zoisite, this beautiful crystal known as a Romeo and Juliet crystal. A balance between Venus and Mars can be kind of a tantric crystal and bringing harmony in our loving and romantic relationships as well as all other relationships. I'd love to hear in the comment section, have you got this crystal and what have you noticed from having it around you? Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Barralet. Blessed be.